Imagine this, it's the year 1348. The snow is knee-deep, your boots are soaked through, and your cottage, built of wood, straw, and hope, is barely holding back the bitter wind. You haven't eaten in 2 days, your child has a fever, and your neighbor just froze to death last night. Medieval winters weren't just cold. They were brutal. But why? What made winters in the Middle Ages such a relentless fight for survival? Today, we're diving deep into the chilling truth behind why medieval winters were absolutely devastating, from freezing homes and deadly famines to wolves roaming the streets. To understand the harshness of medieval winters, we need to talk about climate, specifically, a period known as the Little Ice Age. From roughly the 14th to the 19th century, Europe experienced a significant cooling trend. Winters became longer, colder, and more unpredictable. Rivers like the Thames in London froze solid. Harvests failed across the continent. Scholars believe volcanic activity and solar cycles contributed to this mini-ice age, lowering average temperatures by up to 2 degrees Celsius. Now, 2 degrees might not sound like much, but for a society without central heating, electric blankets, or grocery stores, it was catastrophic. Let's talk shelter, or rather, the lack of it. Most peasants lived in one-room wooden or wattle-and daub huts with no insulation. The roofs? Thatched. The windows? Just holes covered with cloth or wooden shutters. There were no chimneys, only a central fire pit with smoke escaping through a hole in the roof. Families and animals often huddled together to share body heat. Still, frost would creep in overnight, water buckets froze indoors, and waking up with frostbite wasn't uncommon. But cold wasn't the only killer. Winter meant famine. Crops couldn't grow in the frozen ground, and whatever food was harvested during summer had to last until spring. Grain stores spoiled. Root vegetables froze. Meat, if you were lucky to have it, was salted and hung in smoky sheds. For the poor, it meant eating moldy bread, thin porridge, or nothing at all. During the Great Famine of 1315 to 1317, it's recorded that people resorted to eating cats, dogs, and in some rumors, even each other. Starvation didn't just mean death, it meant weakness. Vulnerability to disease. Desperation. Winter also meant sickness. Cold, cramped, unsanitary living spaces made people sitting ducks for respiratory illnesses, pneumonia, tuberculosis, and worse. Add to that the Black Death in the 14th century, spreading faster in cold, wet conditions as people crammed indoors. There were no antibiotics, no vaccines, and no real medical knowledge. A fever could mean the end. A cough could take down a household. Church bells tolled constantly. And cemeteries filled faster than priests could bless the dead. And then, there was the fear. Entire villages became isolated under snowdrifts. Travel became dangerous, roads vanished, robbers waited in the woods, and wild animals got bold. In places like France and Eastern Europe, packs of hungry wolves roamed into towns, attacking livestock, and sometimes people. People believed winter was a curse from God, a punishment, or the work of demons. Folk tales spread about frozen witches, ghostly travelers, and forests that swallowed men whole. Mental illness, depression, and cabin fever weren't understood, but they were felt. Still, humans are resilient. Communities huddled together. People sang, prayed, told stories, and held winter feasts when they could. They relied on traditions, faith, and each other. Sometimes, a warm drink or a moment of laughter was all they had against the dark. Winter didn't just break bodies, it tested souls. But somehow, they endured. Next time you complain about scraping frost off your windshield or a cold walk to the mailbox, remember, you're not trudging through snow with holes in your boots. You're not praying your last turnip doesn't rot before spring. You're not watching wolves circle your cottage in the dark. Medieval winters were brutal. But they also remind us just how far we've come. Like and subscribe if you want more chilling stories from the past. Thanks for watching.